Sure. All right, so she said we're ready. Karen begging for work again, or Abraham? He going back to beg? All right. All right. Good morning, everyone. I'm Nirad Tiwari, CEO of AMCHAM Trinidad and Tobago. I'd like to recognize representatives of Republic Bank, headed by Richard Sami, Vice President, Karen, Tomu, Jardine, Michelle, and everyone else who's here. Thank you very much for hosting us. Karina Coburn, Country Rep of the IDB, Navin Dukran, CEO of AMCHAM Bank, Abraham Smith, CEO of Digicel. We're honored to have you with us this year, Abe. Glad you could make it. John Outrage, CEO of the TTIFC, Lorcan Camps, founder and CEO of Neo Digital. All of our platinum partners. Rena, who has been very, very helpful and supportive to AMCHAM over the years. And my team, Rayanne and Kennedy. Members of the media, thank you very much for coming to spend some time with us this morning. As you know, we're here to launch the AMCHAM T&T Republic Bank Tech Hub Islands Summit. This is our 5th year, so it's really, really special for us. And over the past 5 years, we hope and we think that this has been a catalyst for change and action through the discussions that we're having, the connections that we're building, and hopefully the implementation of some of the ideas. We conceptualize this to be an event that wouldn't focus on the problems, because we find too many times we get together and we have discussions and the whole discussion is about what's not working. But in fact, what we want to talk about is what's possible, what is working, and that's what we've been doing. Many of you have probably heard the popular saying, where you're headed is more important than how fast you're going. I think in truth it's both, right? Because you need to know where you're going, but you can't get there never. You have to get there sometime soon if you want to make an impact. And so that's why this year the theme for the conference is Catapult. For our 5th anniversary, why Catapult? Well, this year we are focused on acknowledging that although we may be behind overall as a country in our digital transformation journey, we don't need to catch up in a linear step-by-step manner. We don't need to do the 100 things that people have done between 20 years ago and now. We can catapult forward. This year, we want to emphasize that we can learn from the strides, the accomplishments, and even the failures of others who have already been through that journey and seeing some of the successes. So there's no need for us to worry and lament what could have been. Let's talk about what's possible, and let's talk about what can be. Let's create that kind of future that we want. So far, we, AMCHAM Trinidad and Tobago, and to be fair, the Ministry of Digital Transformation, have adopted pretty much a multi-stakeholder approach in our digital transformation journey. Our country's national digital strategy for developing the digital society was part of a consultation that we had at AMCHAM Trinidad and Tobago with members, hosted by the Ministry of Digital Transformation a couple of weeks ago, and we will continue to work on those things. Many businesses are already doing amazing work through the adoption of digital tools to improve business operations and services. The fintech ecosystem, led by John and his team, is being developed as one vertical, and we're working with them on that. And we are eager to support the transition, the ongoing transition to a cashless society. We're not saying that everything is perfect, no, far from it. There will always be room for improvement, and we must remain open to even more collaboration to help us design the future that we deserve and we want to enable through technology. But for the most part, we do have a solid foundation on which to build, and we now need to just know where we're going and do so quickly. We want to catapult and to see our aspirations of using technology to bridge the digital divide and ensure that technology does become an enabler, more so, and an industry. And that's the main point that I want to make, is that we at AMCHAM Trinidad and Tobago, and I personally have been working on building a tech industry in Trinidad and Tobago. For me, it's been about 15 years. For others, it might have been longer. And at AMCHAM Trinidad and Tobago, we started this about 7 years ago, focusing on this in earnest. And sometimes when I'm asked to give speeches to young people, I like to do a very simple thing. I take a puzzle with me, and I ask them to build a puzzle. And I say, the faster you build the puzzle, the faster I'll end my speech, because I will time my speech to the time it takes for you to complete the puzzle. So they have a big incentive to finish a puzzle. You're not supposed to say yes. But so it takes, generally small puzzles, so it takes between 7 and 12 minutes most times to build a puzzle. So when they build the puzzle, I ask them, we do it on something so they can pick it up. So I say, okay, how long has it taken you to build the puzzle? 7 minutes, 12 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. I say, now destroy it, break it up. And it takes 3 seconds to destroy it. My point is, building something takes time, it takes concerted effort, and that is what we at AMCHAM Trinidad and Tobago and all our partners in the room here are committed to doing. And we are going to continue the journey to build a tech sector in Trinidad and Tobago that contributes significantly and meaningfully to GDP, to skills development, to job growth, to taxation, and to making our society the kind of society we want, that is innovative, that is exciting, that is connected, and where there are opportunities for all. Maybe we won't do it in a year, but we will get it done, and we will continue doing that. And so that's why this year we are trying to incorporate some of the things that will allow us to do that, and we're going to have world-class experts and industry leaders, as we've had every year, and we'll cover topics such as building tech leadership, cybersecurity for the first time. So it's not a cybersecurity conference, but as you build your digital architecture, you have to take cybersecurity into consideration. AI now and into the future. We have someone from NVIDIA coming to speak about that. Financial inclusion, fostering innovation. Any of y'all who invest in the stock market should know NVIDIA. Anybody who's been reading about AI and microchips and stuff should know about NVIDIA. Amongst our other featured speakers, we have Lauren Razavi, Executive Director of Plumia, which is a global mobility think tank that has raised more than $50 million in venture capital to build a global social safety net for digital nomads, talking about skills of the future and how do we create the conditions in Trinidad and Tobago to enable that tech sector that we want. Kiki Dival, Executive Vice President, Market Development, Latin America and the Caribbean for MasterCard. Dharmendra Sahay, Managing Principal at ZS Associates. He is a global leader in integrated analytics solutions, including a leader in business technology and product development capabilities, and that company, ZS Associates, bought a company that was co-founded in Trinidad and Tobago called Medulan that still has programmers here doing health information technology. So they do consulting, but they also have some direct deployment of software. Stephanie Leblanc-Godfrey, Global Head of Community Inclusion Programs for Women of Color at Google. Leslie Hernandez, Issuance Ecosystem Enablement, Central America and the Caribbean at Visa Inc. And all of these great people, Abraham, you're going to stay here for the conference, will also be speaking at our conference. So they will say more about them. So it'll be taking place on the 29th and 30th of June at the Hyatt Regency. And the website is techislands.net. That's Tech Islands, like the islands of Trinidad and Tobago and down the islands and Little Tobago and Goat Islands. We're an archipelagic state. Techislands.net, where you can get more information on the agenda and register. So let me officially, though, thank our Platinum sponsor for your continued support from the very beginning. I like to say, and Karen, you were, I think, part of the very original discussions that we had with Michelle, where I was just throwing out an idea and you all bought into it and hopefully it's realizing its expectations with you all. But our official title sponsor from even before there was a conference to now, Republic Bank Limited. We're very, very grateful to all of you for your continued support. And Michelle, it's going to be wonderful to work with you on this journey. Our platinum sponsors, PwC, hi Zia, Digicel Business, Exim Bank, IDB, who has been with us from the beginning as well. PwC has been with us from the very beginning as well, and Zia chairs our Digital Transformation Committee. The TTIFC coming on board in this way, but who has been with us on this journey from the very beginning. And Neo Digital, who as soon as they joined AMCHAM had been eager to be a partner. Thank you, Lorcan. I also want to thank our gold sponsors, MasterCard, our silver sponsors, Simply Intense Digital, Hitachi System Security, and the Balroops Group. I really, really can't say how grateful we are for your continued support. I've spoken way too long, and I thought I cut this in half, so sorry about that. But it's now my pleasure to introduce a representative of our title sponsor, Ms. Karen Tomyu-Jardine, General Manager, Group Marketing and Communications from Republic Bank Limited.
Morning, everyone. And yes, it's been a wonderful 5 years. We're still here, and we intend to stay well entrenched in this relationship. Richard Sami, Vice President, Republic Bank Limited. Nirad Tiwari, CEO, American Chamber of Commerce of Trinidad and Tobago. Executive representatives of all our fellow sponsors of the 2023 Tech Hub Island Media Summit. And more importantly, why we're here today, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning again. It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to this morning's simple ceremony and media launch of the Tech Hub Island Summit for this year, 2023. On behalf of Republic Bank, I am thrilled to say that we are indeed honored to once again be part of this critical networking, educational, and technological conference as title sponsor. A lot is covered in this conference, not just technology. We see the importance of technology marrying with all that we do and how we live, and that's really what we hope to continue to achieve as title sponsors and through AMCHAM. In taking the decision to commit to this conference as its title sponsor, we not only recognize the importance of digital transformation for our business, but more importantly, our entire nation and region. This is because technology has proven and continues to prove itself to be the great equalizer. Despite Trinidad's relatively small size, technology has allowed us to actively participate in the global digital economy by engaging in e-commerce and digital trade. Our SMEs using digital platforms have availed themselves of developmental opportunities and launched new products and services reaching much wider audiences that would have been possible, connecting with international markets, etc. Even our social sector has benefited with the provision of health, education, plain old fun, and other public services in much more convenient and customized ways. For all these reasons and more, it is imperative for our country and region to continue to build on this momentum. And we can never go back to the traditional way of doing things. No one wants to. That is why, for us at Republic Bank, we are proud to partner with AMCHAM on the Tech Hub Island Summit and are keen to keep advocating for digital development for the sustainability, prosperity, and resilience of the region. To that end, I'd like to congratulate the Summit Organizing Committee and AMCHAM for their pioneering work on this event over the last 4 years, and we're really looking forward to the 5th. Without a doubt, this conference, from inception to its evolution today, has been thought-provoking and, more importantly, empowering. And ladies and gentlemen, I promise you that this year's event will be just as inspiring and dynamic. That is why we are all here, all in partnership, to bring important perspectives on this initiative. And ideally, and to Nirad's point, more than just perspective, concrete takeaways that all stakeholders can, over time, adopt to indeed catapult our capacity as a region. Shortly, In the program, you will hear from Richard Sammy, our Vice President here at Republic Bank, who will provide added insight on Republic Bank's strategic vision for this year's Tech Hub Island Summit. So without further ado, I warmly welcome each of you and look forward to all that will be shared today, and of course to the conference at the end of the month. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Karen. And here on in, please, speakers, don't feel compelled to do the salutations, having already covered them. Up next, I'd like to invite our country representative of the IDB, Karina Coburn, who has become a good friend of both AMCHAM T&T and me, and most of you in the room, actually, because I saw you greeted her. So welcome, Karina, a key partner for us at AMCHAM Trinidad and Tobago and at this.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Nirad, for allowing us to dispense with all protocols. But I will say a special good morning to members of the media. So I just want a few minutes to explain why the IDB continues to support this event, which we believe facilitates important discussions about Trinidad and Tobago's potential to become a leader in the digital space. Of course, that objective will require important contributions from both public and private actors. And from our point of view, I believe we are seeing some acceleration in the build-out of the ecosystem for the digital economy here in T&T. Just want to mention a few of the Inter-American Development Bank's initiatives locally. These include the Connected ARIMA project, where free public Wi-Fi access has already been installed along Queen Mary Avenue, for those who know ARIMA, using fiber and cutting-edge technology to provide high-speed connectivity to all blocks of the ARIMA Health Facility and the ARIMA General Hospital. Phase 2 will be rolled out in the coming months to complete the remaining areas of the hospital complex and to enable digital data and record management as well as a telemedicine pilot. Another initiative is the Shaping the Future of Innovation program being executed by Kariri with financing from the European Union and IDB Lab. The program is now about to issue its third call for applications for existing firms to compete for financing of innovation activities. Many of the successful applicants to date have centered their proposals on the use of technology to drive service delivery, expand markets, and accelerate growth. To encourage research and development, the program has also announced a pilot to match postgraduate research associates with interested firms. At least 50% of the cost of each associate will be covered by the program for a period of up to 6 months. Tech firms here in T&T are also benefiting from the opportunity to participate in a specialized business acceleration program delivered by DMZ, which is a global leader in this space, through our partners at Tech Beach with support from IDB Lab. And with AMCHAM and TTCSI, we have commissioned studies to understand digitalization gaps affecting the private sector while identifying possible enablers of digital transformation. There are other initiatives in progress, but it's important to realize that these interventions must be tied together by a common thread in order to build sufficient momentum and scale to have Trinidad and Tobago secure a foothold in the digital space regionally and internationally. This is why it's so important that the Ministry of Digital Transformation is completing public consultations on a national strategy for Digital T&T 2023 to 2026. The MDT has been doing a great job, in our opinion, of spreading the net as wide as possible to obtain inputs and feedback on the strategy, including hosting some consultations in the metaverse. And it's critical that all stakeholders take advantage of the opportunity to contribute to the document before it's fully cooked. And that opportunity still exists if you check on MDT's website. Meanwhile, other countries aren't waiting around to see what Trinidad and Tobago will do. On Monday, at TTCSI's launch of its Going Global program, was it on Monday? I can't remember, right? Which is another worthy initiative. I spoke about the cases of Uruguay and Costa Rica, which have already been investing in the digital ecosystem for many years. In fact, Uruguay already has its first tech unicorn with a market value of 1.2 billion, and that's the payment solution dLocal. Jamaica is rolling out its national identification system, not without controversy. Suriname is implementing digital cash payments, and we have also heard about several other initiatives to be executed across the Caribbean at the recently concluded digital leadership event held right here in T&T last month and hosted by the MDT in partnership with the IDB and the Caribbean Telecommunications Union. The meeting was attended by Caribbean ministers responsible for digital transformation, who, in a promising step, signed the Port of Spain commitment on digital integration, which foresees the creation of a regional government cloud, establishment of a regional data center, and increased coordination and collaboration on cybersecurity issues. All good news for the digital enabling environment. Ladies and gentlemen, the IDB is financing some US $8 billion in investments in digital transformation across Latin America and the Caribbean. And we still feel that there is an opportunity for Trinidad and Tobago in this space, even as we work together to close digital infrastructure and skills gaps and to strengthen the enabling environment for digital firms. The International Chamber of Commerce estimates the size of the digital economy globally as US $11.5 trillion, and some analysts expect that it will contribute 30% to global GDP and create an additional 30 million jobs by 2030. So in our view, the summit is relevant, its objectives are relevant, and we are looking forward to participating in another exciting event at the end of the month. We continue to appreciate the partnership with AMCHAM and our fellow sponsors. And we look forward to collaborating once again on the 5th edition of Tech Hub Island Summit. Good morning, and please excuse me, I have to leave for another engagement, but really happy to be here with you today. Thank you.
Dean of the Media Corps, would it be appropriate, since Karina has to leave, to take a group picture and then we can hear from the other sponsors? Would that be okay? Thank you. So our speakers for this morning, can we take a quick photo and then...
Narad Tiwari, CEO, AMCHAM, fellow sponsors, specially invited guests, members of the media, good morning. At PwC, our stated purpose is to build trust and drive sustained outcomes in society. As we emerge from the pandemic, we find ourselves in a world where even greater urgency is needed across all of the megatrends: climate change, social instability, fracturing world, demographic shifts, and technological disruption. As we work together to solve these urgent problems, we recognize that as technology advances at an exponential rate, it presents a unique opportunity for us at this critical time to enable the increased pace of solutions we need to put into action. So this year's theme for this conference, Catapult, is apt. To further reinforce this, in our latest PwC Global CEO Survey, 70% of CEOs in the Caribbean versus 44% of global CEOs said that they were not going to slow the pace of investments. This is a clear recognition of the pace of transformation and the sustained growth that we need across our region. 2 years ago, PwC launched our human-led, tech-driven strategy. We call the equation, the new equation. We've invested significantly to implement this strategy across all of our network, including right here in the Caribbean, to support our people, our clients, and our communities. PwC remains at the forefront of supporting a tech-enabled workforce and community. More than 5 years ago, we announced our US $3 billion investment in digital upskilling of our workforce and supporting the narrowing of the digital divide in our communities. Our most recent global investment, announced earlier this year, is in the rapidly evolving area of artificial intelligence. As PwC continues to focus on building trust, we recognize that once harnessed with the right intentions and safeguards, AI provides tremendous opportunity for solving problems for our people and our clients and our communities. Our global network is investing US $1 billion to enhance our services with AI capabilities, and a further $1 billion investment to enhance our audit services with AI. These investments include both investments in technology as well as talent towards AI development and adoption. Here in the Caribbean, we continuously invest in tools and technology that are available to all of our staff, while also investing in specialist skills, specialist hires to serve our clients' technology needs. Talent development will be the key enabler for us in the Caribbean to unlock the tremendous value of technology investments being made. Attracting and retaining specialist talent within the Caribbean means that we must all work together to support opportunities for innovation and integration of diverse talent in our workforce. In an effort to support this tech talent development across the Caribbean, in February of this year, PwC launched our data science internship program, receiving over 180 applications from 22 countries, including countries outside of the Caribbean. Over 130 applicants reside right here in the Caribbean, and while we've placed 11 candidates to date across our firms, we are working with AMCHAM and our client network to support placements of other applicants. The pressure on people, leaders, and their teams is greater than ever. And while technology offers many solutions, we need to be purposeful and thoughtful in harnessing its benefits, which ultimately need to make lives better for all people. We encourage you to be a part of this conference and to be a part of the solutions and actions that we're all seeking towards a better world at home, at work, and in our communities. Thank you.
Thank you, Zia. And up next is a representative of a sponsor who's putting digital transformation into action. I invite Mr. Navin Dukaran, CEO of the AMCHAM Bank.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Nirad, for letting all protocols be observed. On behalf of the AMCHAM team, I'm thrilled to be here and be a part of the Tech Hub Island Summit 2023, hosted by AMCHAM T&T and Republic Bank on the theme Catapult, Accelerating Digital Transformation. This is only our second time collaborating with this esteemed group, which also includes the IDB, PwC, Digicel, TTIFC, and neo-digital. And we are happy to support the thrust to advance the tech industry and the digital transformation in Trinidad and Tobago. The Exim Bank's mission is to increase national foreign exchange earnings, and we are committed to offering financing solutions tailored to the firms in the private sector to enable them to boost their export capacity. It's widely known that technology adoption and deployment results in significant gains in productivity and efficiency and can result in improved firm competitiveness. And when it comes to export-led growth and market penetration, offering high-quality products and services in a competitive manner is a key ingredient for success. Furthermore, I truly believe that the appropriate leveraging of technology can propel not only our manufacturing sector to grow, but it's also a unique opportunity for the service sector and specifically digital content creators and creatives. We've been working closely with our clients and are seeing the continued efforts of various ministries, business support organizations, government agencies, and growth-oriented companies. And it's showing some results. According to a recent release from the Ministry of Trade and Industry, our non-energy exports have increased from $15.5 billion in 2021 to $17.4 billion in 2022, which represents a 12% increase in export earnings. Furthermore, I would like to provide an update that significant progress has been made on setting up a catalytic fund at the Exim Bank. When fully implemented, the fund will enable export-oriented companies in both manufacturing and service sectors to access financial support to generate increased exports and more foreign exchange. Now, the Tech Hub Island Summit conference will be featuring many timely discussions that will no doubt play a critical role in shaping and guiding the technological roadmap to enable the private sector's success. And as Zia mentioned, a lot about this artificial intelligence. For instance, we have seen the explosion of AI tools. And how can local businesses leverage AI benefits in their operations while mitigating potential risks? So at the conference, you will hear and we will share some of our insights for our respective journeys. In fact, but today, I'm happy to announce that just this morning, at the Exim Bank, we rolled out to all our staff our policy on AI chatbot tools like ChatGPT and Google Bard, because these are now already publicly available. So staff and employees can access them. So they need to know how and when. So we've advised all staff on how to use it and when to use it and instruct what is not allowed, like do not enter any client information or proprietary data into these public systems. But most importantly, we said how to use it, right? So I'm happy that is happening, and we'll share some more insights at the conference. We expect this conference to provide appropriate insights into these burning issues, and so that you could lead appropriately and bring more benefits to your company, to the tech industry in Trinidad and Tobago, and to the region. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Navin, and I hope you all are getting the sense that the companies involved in this are all tech forward in their outlook and their implementation. So as another sign of the growth of the conference or the relevance of the conference, we have Abraham Smith, CEO of Digicel here. It's the first year that Abraham has been able to make this launch, but we've been getting his support and his company's support over the last several years. So Abraham, I invite you to the podium.
Thanks very much. As Nirad said, it's my first year to make it. I wasn't actually supposed to make it this year either, but I had a meeting cancel at the very end, and so I was able to make it. It's nice to see so many of us join together for this. For the detailed remarks, I want to introduce somebody from Digicel who's one of the strong leaders in our business, our general manager for mobile, Rayanne Sobers. So Rayanne, if you could come and talk about our participation this year, please. Thanks.
Thank you, Abe, and good morning, everybody. And welcome again to the media launch for the Tech Hub Island Summit this 2023, hosted by AMCHAM T&T. With great excitement, I stand before you today as we gather to embrace the team catapult for this year's summit. I love this concept. It signifies that even though we haven't reached our desired destination in terms of digital transformation, we possess means to propel ourselves forward at an unprecedented pace, thanks to the remarkable tools available to us today. At Digicel, we've realized that in today's rapidly evolving digital landscape, the need to adapt and innovate, and that has become more critical than ever. And the world is interconnected, and technological advancements have created an environment where progress is not confined to one region or to one industry. It is a collective journey, and as we gather here, we recognize that we're not alone. We're surrounded by visionaries, by leaders, by trailblazers who have traversed the path of digital transformation for their organizations and countries. The Tech Hub Island Summit gives us the ability to engage in conversations and forge new partnerships. It opens us up to new ideas, new approaches, and new perspectives. We are always given the opportunities to share in the experiences of those who have overcome challenges, embraced disruptive technologies, harnessed the power of connectivity, cloud, cybersecurity, and have hearkened the call to lead. Research coming out from ARC Investment Management places the market value of disruptive innovation at $13 trillion today. And according to their estimates, that value can grow to $200 trillion within the next 7 years. Artificial intelligence, or as we refer to AI, which are computational systems and software that evolve with data, will soon permeate every industry. It will be a major source of economic transformation as it integrates technology into every sphere of life. International software models and devices are changing the way we work, we have recreational activities, and generally spend our time. And according to ARK, AI training costs will continue to decline at 70% per year. For example, in 2020, to train a large language model to GPT-3 level, which means there's a greater amount of accuracy and performance than GPT-2 model, it will cost approximately $4.6 million. That price to train the same model would have declined $450,000 in 2022. If the cost of training an AI language model continues to decline, it would not only cause a production revolution globally, it would also enact a local surge in productivity. This means if we harness these tools, which have been made available to us, it has the ability to transform our companies and dramatically increase local GDP. At Digicel, we can already see the gains from AI as our IT teams have supercharged their efficiency with the assistance of intelligent machines. Our teams are also developing proprietary machine learning models that are automating processes that we normally orchestrate manually. At Digicel, we always tell our clients that technology is not something we market or we sell, it's something we live. And that is how we know it can transform the life and structure of your business. We hope that you can all join us at this summit as we show you how to leverage your connectivity and cloud applications and why it's critical to protect your business interests through the most robust cybersecurity solutions. We will also address how critical it is to develop digital savvy leaders that are able to manage change and empower their people in this new era of technology. Knowledge and adoption of these strategies will most certainly drive any company to achieve organizational transformation, which will in turn impact its bottom line and future-proof its interest for years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan, and I apologize if my notes had Abraham, but I'm much happier to have you speak than him. Ryan spoke on two important things, right? That our first theme was the fourth industrial revolution, and we think of the fourth industrial revolution as new stuff, but it's really the speed of development and deployment and therefore implementation of new technologies. And that's what's happening with AI and potentially, although maybe less likely, the metaverse and the like, but also how companies, every company has to see itself as a tech company, and how within your operations, as you continue to, as you do that, if you really do it in earnest, you will potentially develop new products that you can sell, new proprietary tech products that you can sell. And I know with Abraham there, you're not looking at those process improvements as just efficiency gains. I'm sure he's already trying to get somebody to buy them. So, you know, good luck, and I hope some of those patterns come to Trinidad and Tobago. It's now my pleasure to introduce Mr. John Outridge, Mr. Tech or Mr. FinTech, who's also the vice chair of our Digital Transformation Committee. As you would have known from previous news reports and communication, AMCHAM Trinidad and Tobago has signed an MOU with the TTIFC to work on the development of the FinTech sector, and this is part of that rollout and roadmap, and so we're very happy to have John here in his capacity as Platinum Partner and CEO of the TTIFC.
Thanks, Nirad, and morning to everyone again. Special morning to the media. I'm not too sure we should be excited about AI though, because I used ChatGPT to write my speech, and I asked AI, well, what can I do to help? And it asked me for the location of John O'Connor, so I don't know. I don't know if it's becoming self-aware now, so But thanks again, and pleasure to be on this podium here this morning. Yeah, I asked you to put that little joke here. So I'm here to deliver remarks, and again, very, very happy to be doing that as the CEO of the Trinidad and Tobago International Finance Center. And again, we're very honored to participate again in this conference 2023. The theme this year, Catapult, I think resonates a lot with the work that the TTIFC has been undertaking over the past 18 months in relation to driving Trinidad and Tobago towards, I don't want to say a cashless society, but I want to say a less cash society, because I think cashless is a kind of scary term for a lot of people. So we want to start with less cash first and then see how it goes from there. With this vision, we and through the endorsement from the Ministry of Finance and other critical stakeholders across the public and private sectors, we are definitely committed to connecting Trinidad and Tobago and the wider region in terms of the right tools for digitizing what I will call payments. And I'm very glad to be here in the Republic Bank room, because I know Republic Bank is a very big friend to FinTech, so thanks again to Republic Bank and all the things that you guys are doing, particularly as it relates to driving commerce within the not only local but regional sector. Because one of the goals and the visions we have as TTIFC, and we're using this conference to be the sort of launching pad for that, is to really kind of start the transition or to signal the intent to establish Trinidad and Tobago as a FinTech-enabled hub for the Caribbean. And this conference serves as a great platform for us to not only get the collaboration, exchange ideas, foster new partnerships, but also leveraging the power of technology, leveraging the discussions, and really establishing how digital payments is going to be a critical component. And this is going to give a unique opportunity for everyone to connect with industry leaders, as Nirad was mentioning, visionary entrepreneurs, and all the brilliant minds we have, not just here in TT, but across the region in terms of shaping the ecosystem and shaping that transformation. So it's within this context that we will be this year very honored to facilitate the FinTech panel, which is titled One FinTech Caribbean, Driving Digital Financial Inclusion and Fostering Innovation. And this is where we want to lead very important conversations amongst key industry leaders, innovators, and contributors, with a mix of persons from the payment industry, local FinTech entrepreneurs, as well as the UNCDF and other multilateral partners, to really kind of discuss what are the sort of key ingredients for establishing Trinidad and Tobago to be that sort of what I call center of FinTech innovation. And what we will be doing as part of this year's conference is to sort of signal that transition, as we will be launching our FinTech innovation facility right at our offices on level 15 Tower D at the Waterfront Center, named, very proud of the name, One FinTech Avenue. So One FinTech Avenue is really meant to basically be that collaboration space for FinTechs, regulators, governments, investors, all parties concerned. Hopefully one day when Richard is willing to come down to the waterfront, he could have a cup of coffee and he could speak to some potential FinTechs and kind of understand what they're doing and how they could add value to the bank. So this is where we really want to foster those sort of innovation. So Catapult being the team is a very important and timely team for this year's conference, because as Nirad said, I think looking at the past year's conference and the teams, there has been a lot of conversation about what we are going to do. But from listening to all the speakers here this morning, I realize that there's a lot being done. And not only that, but there's a lot of leaps and bounds taking place. So as Neeraj was saying, we don't have to approach this transformation in a linear fashion. There's a lot of things that we can basically get done, catapult, and leapfrog into. So in conclusion, I'd just like to commend the organizers, commend Neeraj, commend AMCHAM, the rest of the different sponsors who have been supporting this conference, because I think it is a very important event in the entire landscape. And I know out of every conference, I'm looking forward to see what are the sort of takeaways and the next steps. And I know Neeraj and the AMCHAM team will sort of be driving towards the overall ecosystem. So thank you this morning.
Thanks, John. And our final platinum partner sponsor rep is Lorcan Camps, the CEO and founder of Neo Digital. Lorcan?
Good morning, and thank you. We're really excited to be a platinum sponsor of the Tech Hub Island Summit event this 2023. I personally have been in the technology field since the beginning of the PC and internet revolution, and I've seen firsthand the massive changes that this has brought. Google, Facebook, Amazon, and other large companies that dominate our lives were born during that era. And so now with all those changes that have already happened, what's left? The exciting thing is that most of the companies, brands, and technologies that will dominate our lives in the next 20 years have not even been invented yet or developed yet. So there's a huge opportunity in front of us. So Neo Digital came into existence in January 2020, right at the beginning of the pandemic. And we started digitalizing our first client later that year in July. Our mission is to digitalize businesses and to help the digital economy here in Trinidad and Tobago, help develop the digital economy here in Trinidad and Tobago. It's amazing what's possible with technology today, because during those 3 years, we were able to build a product, a digital product, and also digitalize 10 clients. And this was all done remotely with my team who were in Trinidad, in Tobago, one was in the US, in Europe, and in India, all in different time zones and places. And it was interesting how we were able to pull it off. Another interesting point was that a few of my team members were actually mothers. And the ability to work remotely made a huge impact, especially during COVID, impact on their lives because they were able to work. What I'm saying is that they would not have been able to have a job if it wasn't for the ability to work remotely. And this is actually an empowering feature of digitalization. So our clients are now on their way. They're all at different stages of their digital transformation journey. And they're leveraging digital commerce, cloud ERP, CRM systems that connect their employees and to the customers. And it's really been exciting and rewarding to be of service. I love to see technology automate processes and help people learn to be more productive by embracing digital. And we're just only now getting started. I feel like, however, it's an important moment for us. With all the changes that are going on in the world, just coming through COVID, with the war, and Trinidad in particular, that, the future of the oil and gas economy, I think that, the time is now, and the opportunity is digital. So we look forward to participating in the summit on June 29th and 30th. And at that event, we'll be showcasing our digital platform and solutions. And we will be also sharing our experiences, the good and the bad, in the field of digital transformation and product development. And we look forward to collaborating with businesses and tech professionals there and help formulate a roadmap for both businesses and professionals who wish to embrace this opportunity. So we would like to encourage business leaders and technology professionals to come to the tech event on June the 29th. And I'd like to thank AMCHAM and the other sponsors for making it possible. So we look forward to seeing you there, both online or either online or in person. Thank you.
Thanks very much for the support, Lokan. And just to be clear, this is not a tech event for techies. This is not a tech event for startups. This is not a tech event for the CIO and the CTO and the people in the IT department or whatever you choose to call it now in your companies. This is an event for leaders to understand what's happening in digital transformation so that you can lead and deploy these things effectively. It is an event for the startups to connect with these leaders. It is an event for the people who are doing the implementation. So the CTOs and the CIOs and the people in tech. This is an event for data scientists. This is an event for anybody who understands and appreciates that technology is an integral part of our future as a person and in our businesses. So with that, I want to introduce someone who gets that message, who lives that message, who evangelizes that message, Vice President of Republic Bank, Richard Sammy.
Thank you, Nirad. Good morning, all, and a special and a warm welcome to Republic Bank, and especially to our friends from the media. I join with Karen, of course, in welcoming you all and also sharing how proud we are to continue being our title sponsor of the Tech Hub Island Summit for 2023. The 2022 summit left us all very enthused at the possibilities. And Nirad just spoke to some of them. The possibilities not just of advancing the technology sphere, but the possibilities of integrating it into how we live, how we work, how we are productive in order to drive the economy. This year, we're just as eager, and of course, we're eager to thrust forward in the digital sphere. Through this forum, we anticipate rich, solution-driven discussions in pursuit of new tech waves, innovative business trends, and Ryan mentioned disruptive, innovative trends, and improved avenues to elevate, empower, and again, truly catapult the digital ecosystem. And I want to congratulate AMCHAM for choosing the theme catapult. I think it's a powerful word when you think about where we are in the industry and particularly in Trinidad and Tobago and the wider region. And it also plays well in speeches. In our keynote address last year, Republic Bank highlighted 5 essential components of digital transformation. 1, people. 2, competition. 3, data. 4, innovation. And 5, value. And I think Zia touched on it in her remarks, the importance of people and where people rank on that list. And we place it first for a reason. And at Republic Bank, while we are on our own technological journey and advancement, we have embraced these principles. Any organizational transformation must first be accepted and driven by people. Right mindsets, skills, knowledge, and dedication will therefore be critical to our success as we move forward. This year's summit will delve further into critical areas, and our speakers mentioned a few of them. Digital leadership, I think, has to start first. And of course, encompassing that will also be tech literacy, ESG, cybersecurity, data strategy, fintechs, AI, and of course, ChatGPT, as John mentioned, and hopefully without the challenges of Skynet. Ultimately, this summit aims to ensure that people are not only well informed, but also why we do what we do and why we have to embrace the critical role of technology in how we move forward. It's essential for us to keep up with the rest of the world, and it is no secret that the world is now more accessible than ever, and it's really due to globalization through technology. We must ensure that we, as small island developing states, are properly equipped for the present and the future. We must be centered on technological readiness, capacity, and capability. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the only way that we'll be able to unleash the power and the relevance of innovation. Through the support rendered by all stakeholders, including the government, civil society, and the private sector, we can and we must. And so in closing, I'd like to thank and congratulate the Summit Organizing Committee and AMCHAM on their efforts to boldly champion this initiative, and again recognize and recommit our support over the last few years and going forward. I'd also like to acknowledge our fellow sponsors, PricewaterhouseCoopers, Exim Bank, the IDB, and Digital Business for the unwavering support and commitment. We look forward to working with you towards building a progressive and sustainable economic future for our country and the region. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. We can and we must catapult. I think that would be a nice takeaway from this. What I would tell you is, one, we're now going to send something to get your future commitment in writing. You'll get that by the end of the day. But more importantly, I just want to say to all of our partners in this endeavor that AMCHAM Trinidad and Tobago is an organization that will always find the one reason why we can, not the 100 million reasons why we can not. We are committed to finding solutions, getting things done, and hopefully being both the catalyst and the core to connect the various initiatives to achieve what we're trying to achieve, which is ultimately a better Trinidad and Tobago for businesses and for all of us who enjoy this space that we call home. So, ladies and gentlemen from the media, you've been very, very patient. Thank you very much. We hope you got, in my humble and respectful opinion, you have about a dozen stories, but, that's up to you, individual ones. And feel free to connect with each sponsor if you wish to do something on what they're doing, even as you cover the conference. If you have any questions, we're open to taking them at this point.
Just wanted to, just three quick ones, right? First one, I noticed that there was a big focus on cybersecurity, and a lot of mention about that. If you could just expand a little bit on the importance of that, especially to SMEs who are still growing in that digital transformation phase.
That's all three?
Well, yeah, digital transformation, cybersecurity. One question would be off topic.
Okay. Is the off topic one's afraid? All right. So AMCHAM Trinidad and Tobago, as you know, we have a number of events because we use these for education and networking. So we do a full cybersecurity conference in our HSSE conference in this year. It'll be in end of October, early November. But we thought it important. So we've deliberately left cybersecurity out of this tech conference in every year except for this one. But we thought, as we are talking about the advances in the deployment and utilization of tools such as AI, and companies that might be thinking of building their tech architecture and infrastructure, that we will have a session that focuses on how do you build that out, whether you're a tiny company or a very large one, taking into account security and therefore cybersecurity. So it's critical, like in anything else that you do, you try to consider the safety and the risks involved. And in anything that we do, including the deployment of technology, there will be some risks, but there are ways to mitigate the risk because we can never eliminate 100%, but we can mitigate, and we hope that this panel within the conference, and I'm sure that other panels will touch on cybersecurity because it's so pervasive. It's one of those cross-cutting issues. But we hope that that specific targeted panel will help companies harden themselves as they become more and more digitally transformed.
Excellent. I don't even like to get my phone I don't even like it when my phone get hacked. But let's move on to the off-topic one.
Depends on what
yes.
site you're going to, Ryan.
Hey, no. They're all safe. The off-topic one, this morning in Trinidad, in the Newsday, the Prime Minister spoke on encouraging businesses to do more business with Western Venezuela or Venezuela in general. I just wanted to get an idea or perspective from AMCHAM as to the challenges that will happen there, if there are any businesses across there and how they manage. And anybody else could chime in too if they'd like.
So what I'm going to have to do on this one is I haven't seen the comments, so it's very difficult to respond specifically, but our members are looking to do business wherever the business conditions are right, and we hope that business conditions within our neighborhood continue to improve so that we can expand our business activities and our relations with our neighbors. Anybody else? Feel free to save the off-topic questions if you don't want to. Sorry? That's it? Keisha, you good? Okay. All right. Well, thanks again, everyone. Really, really appreciate that. Alicia, you good, right? Yes. Okay. All right. Well, thanks very much. Really appreciate it. And thanks to everyone, Zia, John, Navin, Richard, Karen, Rayan, Abraham, Lokan, and Kyron. We always harassing Kyron for something or the other. So thanks very much. And Michelle, really appreciate it. Rena, always appreciate everything that you all do. And my colleague, Rayan. Ray, we're here. We're at the start of the sprint, right? But yeah, it's not a marathon. This month is a sprint. But thanks, Ray, for all that you do. Okay.